Tragic incident leads to a room full of memories and our students going too far to get good grades. Hello and welcome to Sbu TV. I'm Samantha Dibble.
And I'm Andrea, Doneth. Windmill farms that generate power face strong opposition in one Cattaraugus County community. Amanda Ciavarri has the story.
The Allegheny Town Planning Board met to listen to residents' thoughts on the wind turbine project that will add 29 wind turbines to the Chipmunk and Knapp Creek area of Allegheny. Nearly all town residents at the hearing felt the same way.
The more I've read and thought about it recently, the less certain I have become.
I'm opposed to the proposed wind farm in Allegheny for many reasons.
I basically think that it is a money-making scheme.
Many feel the negatives of wind farms outweigh the benefits.
Because they only produce 10% of what they are using, so they still need to be run by electric. I mean, they're not, self-sufficient.
If this project goes through, residents aren't planning on allowing the wind turbines to be their neighbors.
If these turbines go up, I probably will move.
A St. Bonaventure University official told Sbu TV that the Bonaventure view will also be obstructed by the wind turbines, altering this scenic view. For Sbu TV, I'm Amanda Ciavarri.
Residents will have until May 3rd to submit their thoughts on the project to the planning board before a final decision is made.
While many may have seen the Oklahoma City National Memorial, there's a good chance you've never seen what's in the museum's archives. To get there, you must take the elevator to the bottom floor. But even then, few have actually sifted through the thousands of items. That is, except for CNN's John Jordan.
It often starts with a simple gesture, a way of saying we remember and will never forget.
It's heartbreaking. I don't know, it's just reality hits you when you see it.
They are the personal items that visitors have left on the fence of the memorial, from stuffed animals to clothes.
I mean, there's a Wisconsin plate back there, and I never in a million years would expect a Wisconsin license plate to be out here.
But because there is only so much room, over time the items must come down to make way for new ones. Where they go is here.
This is a t-shirt that was left on the fence.
This is the museum's archives, where tucked away you can find the playhouse from the children's playground, or some of the original items left on the fence. And found locked away are the other over 600 original sketches for the bombing memorial.
And being back here in the archives is almost like being back the day of the bombing. In fact, a lot of these pieces here are left over from Timothy McVeigh's Ryder truck. Important items that may never end up on display.
But nevertheless, every item here is tagged, documented, and stored in a way to keep them from getting ruined. Helping to make that possible is the archives staff.
This room is climate controlled. We keep it at about 68 degrees Fahrenheit and about 45% humidity. Our lights have UV filters on them, so the light won't damage objects.
As well as helping to preserve the lives lost.
And that's the whole point of part of the memorial here, is to keep the memory of these people alive. You get to know that Don Burns, he loved to golf, and this is his putter set, and a family member left this on his chair. Laney Scroggins loved to fish, and one of his family members or a friend left this fishing lure on his chair.
But whether it's a fishing lure or putter set, inside every box is another item with another memory that combined help to provide a snapshot of a moment in time.
All these items, we're trying to preserve them for as long as we can to help tell the story.
And over the course of the 15 years since the bombing, as you may expect, the archive room has continued to grow. So much so, museum officials are now in the process of getting a grant that would provide the archive room with more space. St. Bonaventure's archives recently received a chilling edition from the Oklahoma City bombing tragedy as well. Last week marked the 15th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing, and in the depths of the Friedson Library, there's a sobering collection linked to that devastating day. St. Bonaventure alum Dan Herbeck is the co-author of American Terrorist, the only authorized autobiography of Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh.
Never spoke to police, never spoke to federal agents on the record. Lou Michel is the only reporter that American Terrorist spoke to.
He and other co-author, Lou Michel, recently gave the university permission to house the letters and recordings of McVeigh that were used to write their novel. Although Michel and Herbeck still own the artifacts, they were given to the university for scholarly use.
So they hemmed and hawed about how they would do this or what they would do. Eventually, in talking back and forth with Lou especially, because he was the one who was really on the tapes, Lou said, you know, I think you're right. I'm going to give it to St. Bonaventure. Let them have it.
The objects are being kept in the Jim Bishop room and rare book sections of the library.
It has been available to students. We've had several people doing research with the collection since we got the first part, and we've already had a student in the graduate program using the new material.
But Frank warned students that material held here is very disturbing.
It's kind of a terrifying collection. You know, the name of the book is certainly appropriate, American Terrorist. It's a bit frightening. I felt bad that I had, for the intern who processed all the material.
I'm not going to go into that courtroom and curl into a fetal ball and cry just because the victims want me to. We have to accept it and move on.
The school hopes that they can get Herbeck and Michel to visit the campus and talk with students about their unique experience.
We will arrange something for next year for them to come and visit and give a presentation about how they put together the book, and perhaps we can play some segments of the tapes.
Herbeck and Michel both currently write for the Buffalo News. St. Bonaventure is preparing for final exam week. Studying can require time and effort, so some college students have resorted to prescription drugs to aid in the studying process. Katie Beacham has the story.
Society realized that really is a drug society.
With finals week quickly approaching, students have begun to hit the books. But those who wait until the last minute have found another way to get studying done.
There's three main drugs. There's Concerta, Adderall, and Ritalin. People are trying to find any edge they can to stay awake.
Students can use these drugs to help them during exam time.
During finals, they have a tendency to think that it's going to help them study, stay awake, pull all-nighters.
These drugs are prescribed to people with learning disabilities. Those not prescribed can have a stimulation effect, giving them the idea that they can accomplish more.
It can actually inhibit your ability to stay calm, be relaxed, those types of things. Where if you have a learning disability, it mellows you out, it helps you focus.
Keener says studies have been done to show that Adderall won't be of any help in the studying process.
What you learn on Adderall, you don't retain unless you're on Adderall when you're taking the test.
Like any drug, addiction can be of concern.
It's not addicting as much as, say, Oxycontin or some of those harder drugs are, but sure, it's a speed, so it can be addicting as any other drug.
And those who sell their prescriptions can face trouble.
Selling your prescription is a federal offense.
Keener offers advice to students on how to study the proper way.
I think what you need to do is plan out throughout the semester, have a schedule, have structure, that type of stuff, instead of waiting to the last minute and thinking you got to read 40 chapters or study.
For Sbu TV, I'm Katie Beacham.
According to a senior scientist at the Treatment Research Institute, Adderall abuse and the abuse of other prescription stimulants may be as high as 15 to 20% of college students.
Coming up, the weather may not be hot yet, but that's not stopping Olean residents from their favorite chili treat, and how allergies may be affecting people earlier this season.
Daddy, why is the sky blue?
Well, to match your pretty eyes.
Nope, not even close. See, all colors have wavelengths that are diffused by oxygen and nitrogen. Since blue is the shortest wavelength, it's diffused up to 10 times more.
Who taught you that?
Mommy?
By age 12, too many girls lose interest in math and science and their chance at future jobs. Keep her interest alive.
You know why mathematics is the basis of life as we know it?
You tell me.
It's her future. Do the math.
Plastic ones last longer.
Pork bellies close steady due to speculation that demand for bacon-related products.
Read me this one, Daddy.
Okay, honey. The less art kids get, the more it shows. Are yours getting enough? Art. Ask for more. AmericansForTheArts.org.
In recent weeks, Sbu TV has covered the dangers of using Facebook, the online social website, from protecting your identity to keeping it clean for your job hunt. However, a new scam proves it's not even safe to trust your friends on Facebook, at least people posing as your friends. The latest scam is using current events to prey on victims through their own friend chat list, and if you're not careful, it could cost you big. CNN's Jennifer Emmert reports.
When a Facebook chat window opened, one of our reporters believed she was chatting with one of her friends. The friend said he was stranded in London because of volcanic ash and needed money to get home. Our coworker was immediately suspicious.
People are not on guard enough, and they should be.
Even though the request comes from someone you believe to be a friend, the friend's account was hacked.
Most of the time, people don't ask for money over the internet, so you know, by a friend sending you something like that is kind of suspicious.
It definitely would depend on how well I knew the person, and if it was like a big, you know, if they were like really in trouble, you know, I'd say, all right, well, just call me and we'll meet up maybe somewhere.
They're all very simple but ingenious scams that they're working, and this is just another reason to be extremely careful whenever you're putting anything on Facebook.
What's different about this scam, it seems to be coming from someone you've allowed access. That's why investigators say you need to do a little investigating of your own.
If you're suspicious, ask them something that only the two of you know.
Or follow up by calling another friend. Many Facebook users say they've learned the hard way to guard their information.
I got a phone call from one of my uncles one day that lives out of town. I didn't know I got my number, and I went on there and saw that my phone number was on there, so I went there and, you know, I deleted all my stuff like that because I didn't, you know, somebody random get it.
Because you never know when a friend's information or your own has been compromised.
If this has happened to you, Facebook wants to know about it so they can attempt to figure out where the information has been compromised.
The change in seasons means warmer temperatures and budding plants. But for allergy sufferers, spring can be not so pleasant. Liz Witter has the story.
If you have allergies, you may have found yourself reaching for tissues earlier than usual this year.
I think with the milder winter, perhaps spring may have sprung earlier than it has in the past.
It's tree pollen season in western New York, and many of us are experiencing symptoms worse than ever.
This time of the year, we get a little nice weather started already in April. Then you can see the tree pollen coming out. A lot of people already suffering of allergy exacerbation.
Mild temperatures help trees and other plants to start budding earlier, causing pollen to circulate in the air outside and symptoms to worsen.
Awful. My eyes are just so itchy and so ruddy, and my nose just like drips like crazy, and I can't stop sneezing.
You really can't breathe very well. Sometimes I can't see.
Allergies can bother those that have them in nasty other ways too.
Poor sleeping, irritability, ADHD-like symptoms in kids, interfering with your sleep, with your attention span and concentration.
The warm weather outside may be nice, but it's actually just prolonging allergy season. Over-the-counter and prescription medications can help relieve symptoms, but sometimes it's not enough.
I have a prescription for my allergies, and it's stuff that you squirt up your nose. I'm set for 12 hours, and then I'm awful again.
I take like Benadryl if it gets really bad.
Toughing out allergy season is what sufferers just have to do.
It's just awful. I hate the spring. I hate it.
Allergies are like the worst thing that could happen to you when you're walking around outside.
For Sbu TV, I'm Liz Witter.
Pollen is the second most common allergy in the U.S., only behind dust mites.
With summer approaching, area residents are heading to one local business to get a cool taste. Marilyn Wargo is a fan.
Nice weather brings on cravings for ice cream, and Olean's Tasty Twirl is reaping the benefits.
been a family business now. Well, this is the 50th year. Well, we've been so local so long that we just get a variety of people.
Even with its lengthy history in the Olean community, there's game all around.
There's a lot of competition here, McDonald's, Burger King, but I think I got the best location.
Owner Donald Blinn believes his business's authenticity allowed Tasty Twirl to build a clientele and remain unique to lovers of frozen dairy products.
If you keep your menu different than anybody else's menu, then they only can come here to get what you have. If you're the only one that has them, pretty soon you build up a business because you got a lot of little things that other people don't.
Though the words tasty and twirl make you think of ice cream, there's a different favorite in town.
Well, our Texas Hots are the biggest seller here. We probably sell right around 40 to 50,000.
Among the varieties of food, kids still pick ice cream #1.
Mel's favorites are the cotton candy and bubble gum.
What do you think of it?
Amazing. Cotton candy is my favorite.
For Sbu TV, I'm Marilyn Wargo.
Tasty Twirl is located on West State Street near St. Bonaventure's campus, and students can get a free soda with a purchase if they have their Bonaventure ID. A famous performer is set to visit Bonaventure, up next on Sbu TV.
There is really only one boy, one girl, one tree, one forest, one ocean, one mountain, one sky, and one simple way to care for it all. Please visit earthshare.org and learn how the world's leading environmental groups are working together under one name, EarthShare. One environment, one simple way to care for it.
The sound of jazz filled the St. Bonaventure campus this week. Lauren Adams reports.
Most of the time we stick with contemporary big band music.
The SBU Jazz Band held its end of the semester concert this week, and St. Bonaventure students and community members filled the Quick Arts Center to support the group. The 16-member band showcased ensemble numbers under the direction of music professor Les Sabina.
I really like that it comes together at the end of the semester and we play some challenging music and they get through it with solos and ensemble work and everything's in tune. The rhythms are great, so it's really good.
Contrary to popular belief, the jazz band doesn't spend all of its time playing on campus.
We perform other places when the occasion arises. We've done off-campus concerts, we've done jazz festivals at other universities. We occasionally go out around campus and play different places.
The band members practice once a week for their performances.
We have to do a lot of rehearsal outside because some of the charts are harder than they seem to be. So it's a lot of work, but it's so rewarding at the end.
Sabina likes the audience at shows, but is always looking for more members.
I'd like to see everybody come out and support the group. College students, I'd like to see college people actually play in the ensemble.
For Sbu TV, I'm Lauren Adams.
Some members of the jazz band are also part of the pep band that plays at home men's basketball games.
EcoFest is a week-long celebration of Earth Day, co-sponsored by the Recycling Club, Bonner Response, and other groups on campus. The celebration includes a number of activities and events that promote an eco-friendly environment. Students gathered Wednesday at University Ministries for a coffee house and recycled craft fair. Participants used recycled materials to make crafts and shared writing and poetry during an open mic session. And a clothing swap in the Butler Gym Thursday encouraged students to bring unwanted clothes to the trade with other students. EcoFest continues with a tree planting and a nature tour today and concludes with an Eco Festival Saturday featuring a barbecue and local bands. More of us are doing our share to celebrate Earth Day.
You've heard it before, one person's trash is another person's treasure. In observation of Earth Day, CNN photojournalists look at solutions to address the issues impacting our planet and people who are trying to make a difference before it's too late. CNN photojournalist Deborah Brunswick found a new place in New York taking recycling to a different level.
In New York City, about 13,500 tons of construction demolition waste are generated every day.
Our mission is to try to save some of that stuff and to promote the reuse of building materials. We're taking this material from a house in Scarsdale that's scheduled for demolition, and we're sending it back to Big NYC's warehouse in Astoria.
Build It Green is a building materials reuse center. We take in donations of unwanted building materials and we resell them at a discount.
We are Home Depot meets the Salvation Army.
We're started in response to the flood of building materials being landfilled. Perfectly good building materials out there that are constantly being thrown into the garbage when people renovate.
Some of the stuff come through, you'll be surprised that people wanted to get rid of it.
It's just really inspiring to see how other people's remnants can actually be reinterpreted and appropriated for new things.
Over 50% of New York City's landfill material was construction related. So our goal is to prove that this material has a home.
Reused materials have a positive environmental impact. You're keeping them out of the landfill. We don't have to cut down more trees. We don't have to mine more materials.
If everybody thought like my peers here at Build It Green, then the world would be a better place.
Most months of the year, St. Bonaventure is a very cold place, but this Thursday, the Riley Center will be burning with hip-hop artist Sean Kingston. Sbu TV's Vince Price has the story.
On Thursday, April 29th, students, faculty, staff, and the general public will be filing into the Riley Center for the Sean Kingston concert.
I am going. Well, it's spring weekend, so it's always good to go to the events, but also because we're finally bringing like a big name act in here, so I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm going to go to the Sean Kingston concert because I think it would be a good time.
Kingston, a hip-hop and pop artist, is best known for his songs Fire Burnin' and his debut #1 single, Beautiful Girls. Some faculty and staff, however, will not be attending the concert.
I have class and I'm probably going to have more entertaining things to do.
I am not going because I'm not really into the Sean Kingston vibe.
Tickets are on sale for students, faculty, and staff for $10, while the general public is $12. Over 1,300 tickets have already been sold, about half going to the general public and half going to faculty, staff, and students. Sales are expected to rise in the next week, according to Kathy Taylor, the ticket manager at the Riley Center ticket office.
On Thursday, April 29th, St. Bonaventure will be happy to welcome Sean Kingston here for spring weekend to perform live right behind me in these doors at the Riley Center. For Sbu TV, I'm Vince Price.
Those interested in purchasing tickets can stop by the Riley Center ticket office or call 716-375-2500. Up next in Sbu Sports, one local writer gets national recognition.
There's something you should know about me. I'm cold. I'm calculating. I get what I want. If you get in my way, I'll wreak havoc upon you. I can leave you weak, limp, twisted, confused. If you want to live to see tomorrow, you answer to me, and you answer quickly. I am a stroke.
Learn to recognize a stroke and act quickly.
Last week, we reported on St. Bonaventure alum Rachel George, who won an award given out by the Associated Press. She wasn't the only one with St. Bonaventure ties to be recognized. Kevin Clark has the story.
I've never had a day where I didn't enjoy going to work.
Work for Chuck Pollock is inside this building, where he is a sports columnist for the Olean Times-Herald.
As long as I've been here, which is 38 years at the Times-Herald, I've never felt obligated to apologize for where I live because I like the area.
Working at the Times-Herald has allowed Pollock to cover the Buffalo Bills along with the St. Bonaventure basketball teams.
There's a lot at stake in this game. I think it's been pretty entertaining.
And by staying in the area, he was rewarded by earning a tie for first in column writing for papers under 40,000 in the Associated Press Sports Editors National Contest.
It's the most prestigious award we can get, and papers under 40,000, there are a lot of candidates. So to get in the final 10, that's a big deal. To win is a thrill.
Pollock had come close before, but this year his columns finally came out on top.
The key thing to me is making the top 10, and I've had that happen 4 times. I had a second in columns back in '94, and I thought, well, that's the best I'm ever going to do.
All the winners will gather in Salt Lake City, Utah, where they will be honored. And although Pollock is unsure if he will be able to attend, it won't be his award he will be most proud of.
Rachel George, who graduated from here, won as prestigious an award as pretty much possible. And as much as anything else, the nice thing about going out there, if I can work out my schedule, will be to see her and see her get that award.
The banquet in Salt Lake City is set for June 26.
That's all for this week of Sbu TV. I'm Samantha Dibble.
And I'm Andrea Doneth. For the rest of us in the Coop Lab, have a great day.